Neither are quite confirmed. They both need just a point to secure a top 2 finish, while 4 points is more than likely to be enough to finish as one of the best third-place finishers. Poland, meanwhile, become the first team to be eliminated from the tournament. You can watch France against Poland and Netherlands versus Austria live across the BBC next Tuesday evening. So they're the two teams. All's pretty calm. It sort of suits them both in a way, this result, although I suspect Netherlands will be a bit frustrated by that decision. It's a contentious one, and we'll talk about it. You could probably make a case either way. It's subjective, there's no question about that. We'll come to that shortly, but overall, mildly disappointing, really, Alan.
Disappointing in front of goal, particularly from a French point of view. I mean, they created, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 really, really good opportunities without playing that well today, you know. But they were really poor in front of goal.
He was good again. N'Golo Kante, looks like he's got a swollen lip there. Looks like he's got a whack. Mbappe didn't come on, which was we were hoping he would at some point. I suspect maybe he would have only come on if that Dutch goal had been given, Cesc.
Yeah, maybe, but even then, I think he was not even warming up. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest, with the lack of quality in this game, especially in the final third. So many talents, so much quality on that pitch. Players taking rash decisions, you know, without looking. Rabiot going through. He has all the time in the world to play a good ball or just finish himself. He just crosses and hopes that anyone without looking. So yeah, I think we expected a little bit better than that.
I suppose in many ways it just proves that it's not easy at this level, is it, Wayne, for anyone, really?
Yeah, no, I think it was a disappointing game. I think the point suits both teams, obviously, but yeah, I was very disappointed. I think a lack of quality tonight was evident, and yeah, you expect more from these two teams, I think.
Yeah, we do. But they'll pretty much be sure to go through. Let's look at the big moment. I think some referees think it is, some referees don't. We've had contact with a few. Goalkeepers probably believe it is, but I think the important thing is that is very important to explain is the goalkeeper's position in terms of whether he conceivably could have actually dived. The rule says interfering with an opponent by preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball. So the question really is he stopping him diving to get the ball? Alan?
No, I think France have been very fortunate here.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see the angle from behind the goal, clearly the goalkeeper, because of his body position, because of where his legs are and how wide they are, not at this one, but I mean, you can see how far Dumfries is away from the keeper. But when we freeze it again in a second or so, the goalkeeper cannot dive for that now.
No, his legs are too wide apart.
With that body position he's in now, the goalkeeper cannot dive and he's not getting to that ball. Yeah. And that Dumfries is not affecting him at all.
He's also behind the goalkeeper at that point when he could have dived. What do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, I think it's a goal. I think, as Alan said, the spot on. I think the keeper, you see now, there's no way. Firstly, the French defenders are blocking his view. And then he actually does make a small attempt to get the ball, but that's the best he can do. Yeah. And there's no way that should be disallowed, in my opinion. I think it's a goal. I think it's frustrating, the amount of time it took. But
and also, it took far too long.
It did take an awfully long time.
I think we need to question a little bit the referee here, the VAR. Because the referee, OK, you can maybe have seen it in a different way because everything happens very, very fast, but the VAR should have called him up and watched the screen at least for him to make the right decision.
Especially when it is a subjective decision, because basically you've got to decide whether the goalkeeper is impeded. He's not, clearly. I mean, realistically, he can't. I mean, he's a long way from Dumfries there. If he dived, he'd probably just about reach Dumfries, wouldn't he?
But, yeah, I mean, it's the defender in front of him also is probably blocking him more than Dumfries is affecting his. No, I just don't think he's getting there at all.
If you really think you can get the ball, you still dive and try to make it happen.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement there, and I think Ronald Koeman's a bit frustrated, but you can see why they brought it up. It's strange they didn't go to the monitor, though, and have a look, because of the fact it was subjective.
Yeah, I think if you go to the monitor, at least the referee can see it, and then he has to make his
own decision.
Yeah. It's his opinion on it, but I think whatever opinion was given or the referee, Anthony Taylor, gives... Yeah. from my point of view, that is onside. That's a goal.
Yeah. I think it will divide opinion to a degree, but they had the chances. Griezmann probably had the best France chance, didn't he, in the second half? Anyway,
they missed so many chances.
Yeah.
I mean, some of their play to get up into these areas. I was thinking he could have actually hit that first time. You know, I'm not sure he actually needed the touch, but to get in there and the way they knocked it around and then the ball from Kante into him. But then once he takes the touch, it just gives the goalkeeper that extra split second.
I think he's a bit behind him to have a clear shot on goal there, Alan, though, with the first touch. Do you not think it was too far behind him to have a go?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, his first touch then puts him off balance. Having said all that, the keeper does really well in getting the touch to it and knocking it out for the corner.
Rabiot had a couple of good chances as well. We'll start with the one in the first half, which was, I think, the clearest chance of the match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and I think he actually got into some really great positions. And here again, he's got to shoot. He's 7 yards out. He can go either side. The keeper will have no chance, but he makes the decision to try and pass it. And then it's the wrong decision, clearly. I think if he shoots, he scores. And then he had a half chance with his right foot in the second half here, which I think if you look at his leg, he keeps his leg straight and he never gets his body in the right position, and that's poor.
I think he goes with enough belief as well.
Yes,
it just goes off.
Yeah,
that's not easy, but it's not
a chance. It's a chance, but
yeah.
That's the one I was talking about before.
Oh.
He doesn't even look. I mean, for me, that is very, very poor. A player of this level, you know, playing for Juventus in a quality team, you know, international player, I think we have to do better than that.
Yeah. I want to ask you about your old teammate Kante, because in the first match he was everywhere, and again you watch a bit of coverage and he's in the box, and then you pick it up and he's on the halfway line. I mean, we've said it many times about him. He's everywhere. He's ubiquitous.
Yeah, well, we were watching the game. We were commenting, you know, that he was absolutely everywhere. I mean, you see him on the right wing. You see him recovering balls as the last man. What I like about him, look, he plays forward and he keeps moving. He's pass and go. A lot of movement, good mobility, and a lot of quality. I mean, the way he has improved in football, always playing forward once again. For me, he was superb and man of the match without a doubt. Even he was the one making runs in behind.
Yeah. He had more touches in the last third than any other French player, and more touches in the box as well.
Yeah,
a joint most,
everywhere.
I should say. Yeah,
just everywhere. He's incredible. His ability,
he's 33 now as well.
His ability to get around the pitch hasn't changed at all, has it? I mean, he was absolutely everywhere. He'd give and go, and the energy that he's got, the quality that he's got on the ball, it's incredible.
I think that's gone out the game a little bit when you're looking at midfield players. It's either number 6 or number 8.
Yeah,
for instance, he's a perfect example of
he's 6, 8 and 10
of all-round midfield player. He defends very well, gets the ball very well, but the amount of runs he made in behind tonight was really impressive.
What's he like in training, Cesc? Is he the same? Is he all over the place, or does he take it easy in training?
He takes it quite easy, I have to say. But even then, I mean, what can you say? He recovers so many balls. But yeah, I think he's one of these players that when Saturday comes, Sunday comes, he steps up big time.
Yeah, he'd win a marathon, wouldn't he?
That's incredible.
2 games for France, just the 1 goal. Obviously, Mbappe, their talisman, was missing. What do you make of them, Wayne?
Yeah, I think in both games, actually, they haven't been great. I think they've got the players, they've got the experience of going far in these major tournaments. I think they'll be fine, and they will go to the later stages, and certainly are obviously one of the favourites to win the competition.
You still wouldn't want to play them in the quarter-final?
No, you wouldn't.
Well, actually, we'd be quite happy to get to the quarter-final.
They've got so much quality. I mean, it's quite clear what was missing this evening, that their ability to finish it off. But to get into those positions, I thought they did really well, but their finishing was awful.
Yeah, 7 games they've played without Mbappe over the last 2 seasons. They haven't won any of them. He's very important to... I'm sure he'll be back for the next game. And I think he might have come on if they'd have gone behind.
That's exactly what we're talking about, Gary. You know, the last final third, this last bit of quality that makes a difference, that makes you win the game. You know, when you want to win important moments like these tournaments, especially France, you know, with this physical quality, Mbappe is a must play for them.
Yeah. How far can the Dutch go looking at that performance in their first match?
Yeah, I think they seem together, and I think for me, I like the balance of the team. I think they need to...
Have they got enough up top?
Yeah, I think that's the one thing which maybe will let them down, but I do like the balance of the team, the experience and the difficult to play against.
Yeah. Of course, perhaps didn't sneak on because he seems to have had that knack, particularly for Netherlands. I mean, he got the two, didn't he, in the World Cup final? Came on in their first game and sneaked a goal late on.
Well, absolutely, especially what he did in their first game. So I was expecting him to play some part.
He came on with 10 minutes.
But,
he had 10
more
minutes,
than
but
that,
I thought he might get more than 10 minutes.
Absolutely, that's what I thought. I was thinking, and that would be my worry about the Dutch, is whether they've just got that enough quality in front of goal.
Yeah. But, you know, they've got a nice balance to their side and good defensively.
Yeah, I think they look solid defensively. I know France had a few opportunities today and
France.
maybe should have scored, but I think with that experience and then growing into the tournament, they might surprise a few teams.
All right, let's have a look at the goals from earlier, because we didn't get any. Let's have a few from the other game in this group. Poland played Austria earlier on.
On the counter-attack. But in general play, it's been pretty even. Yeah. But those two were big chances for France.
They certainly were. I mean, having said all that about France, the Dutch have been slightly dangerous on the counter-attack, Cesc.
Yeah, they are small players, but they're very agile, they are fast, they try to attack the space. And, collectively, they are a very good team. You know, they are quality, they are technically gifted, so, yeah, they can cause problems.
Tactically, who's had the edge, Wayne?
I think France, I think Holland have had some very good chance on the break, as Cesc said. I think that both teams have been a little bit sloppy and a lack of care at times, and the ball's turning over quite a lot, which is leading to some good opportunities and both teams getting in good areas. But just think that final pass needs to be a bit cleaner, and I think we might see some goals if it is.
Well, we should certainly have seen one goal. Right, we've got three strikers in, one midfield player. Cesc was going, pass it, and we were all going, shoot. I wonder why that is. I mean,
it was really good link-up play from Thuram there, the back heel into Rabiot. I mean, what is he? Just shoot. He's got the whole goal to aim at.
Yeah. Make the case to the defence.
I would have passed it, but passed it well, you know. In front of him to just have him. I called it here, pass it, okay. Yeah. But no, I agree that you have to be a little bit selfish.
You'd have knocked that one in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd say on Rabiot is I don't know whether he's thinking the defender might get back if he tries to wrap his foot round it, but he has to shoot.
I mean, I always say, my argument always in those circumstances with strikers, because you sometimes get a bit of stick for having a shot, but even more kind of circumstances where you're a bit wider. But my argument is, if you pass it, there's two things that can go wrong: the pass and his finish. But if it's you that takes on the responsibility, there's only one thing that can go wrong, and that's you. So you're doubling your chances of missing. That's my argument.
You convinced me. Okay, all right.
As a striker, whenever I got accused of being greedy, that was how I responded. The Dutch on the counter, they are sharp, they are quick, and they are dangerous.
Yeah, I just think they've, as I said before, just that lack of care really, and it's really refreshing when you see players running behind. I think we've seen that, especially early on, with players gambling, making runs in behind, and Frimpong here is a really good save. But I think Holland, if they defend well and they stay compact, then they will get chances. But they haven't managed to take them at the minute.
I think the ball. There's no doubt the ball. There is the spaces, and the ball is there to be played in behind. You know, I know they're rapid at the back, but certainly on the counter attack, the Netherlands have done really well in doing that and finding those spaces and those balls in between the holes. Yeah. Saliba's been really good, though, hasn't he? I mean, there was a one-on-one with Saliba had, and he was outstanding, wasn't he? He was in control of the situation. He was brilliant.
It's funny, before the tournament, we weren't sure that Saliba would play because I think Didier Deschamps said publicly at one point, there are elements of his game that I don't like. I'd love to know what they are.
Well, I said that 1v1 that he had, I think it was with Frimpong, actually, and he was just in total control of the situation. He pushed him where he wanted to go and got the tackle in.
Griezmann, it's 32nd major tournament game for France, which is quite something. He's always a threat, Cesc.
Yeah, and he's so consistent. I mean, he smells the goal, he smells the danger. He's not shy to try. He's got all this confidence now. He's got the captain Arben as well. He's one of the leaders of the team. I mean, what a player. He can play any system. Yeah, he can do a little bit better here. Yeah. But it's just the moments, the little spaces. I mean, you know much better, three of you, how you get the spaces here in the box. But for me, he's a fantastic little player.
I think with Griezmann, if I was Griezmann in this game, I'd play the opposite side to where Memphis Depay is. I think we'll go through Memphis in a minute, but I think where the side Memphis is trying to press from, the midfielder stepping out and then it becomes a lot of space. I think if I was Griezmann, I'd be looking to stay the opposite side to Depay, and I think he will get a bit more space and have a bit more of an influence on the game.
Do you adjust in the game to things like that, Wayne, when you played? Because obviously, you know, you played up top a lot of times, but you also came deep and you were often in your career a 10 as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I think if you've got a midfield player who's trying to step out, I'd always try and then come into that space behind the midfield player, and I think Memphis isn't pressing that well, but then when the midfielders are stepping out, that space is there for Griezmann, and I think if he comes that side, I think he will get a lot more space, definitely.
Yeah. Talked about Thuram before the game. What do you make of his performance?
I think his link-up play has been superb. There's been 2 or 3 occasions where the ball's been sort of pinged into him, and his touch has been excellent and brought other players into the game. The first touch there is superb, and then he sets it up. We're thinking, go and have a shot there. Why come back, Rabiot? There's no need. He could have carried on. And this is one that we saw the back heel earlier again into Rabiot. That's what you need if you're going to build off someone. You need someone who's got the touch. He's protecting the ball and then bringing Dembele into that game. So from that point of view, you're looking then for, OK, then I've affected the game by that. I'm looking for the one opportunity and one chance. I mean, there's no one in with him. He has no other chance than to have the shot at goal. The execution's all wrong, but I've been impressed with him, certainly with his hold-up play.
Yeah. Memphis, you talked about him, Wayne. He's lacked a bit of mobility. Dare we say walking in Memphis, or?
Yeah, I think he's... And this is where he can be frustrating at times, and I think no energy, he's not triggering any press off, and there's only probably 2 players in world football who are able to get away with not putting that effort in up front, and it's probably Cristiano and Lionel Messi, and I think Memphis isn't quite at that level, and I think he needs to do a bit more.
Yeah. I think the Dutch team, you know, the young players at the back, you know, Gakpo, Xavi, Simons, Frimpong, they all try to press behind him, but they see that he's not, you know, capable to get in there. Maybe he doesn't have the legs. Here, for example, he loses the ball and straight away he starts walking, so his teams need to drop off very, very quickly. Modern football, nowadays, if you want to play at the top level, the way, you know, these teams want to achieve things, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah. Will we see Mbappe?
I would think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd time at a major tournament that France have played without Mbappe since 2018. They haven't won any of them, haven't scored. Yeah. So they might need him to come on at some point. We had, 5.5 million streams on iPlayer for the England game yesterday, but it's not just all about the football.